Grand Rising. It's 5:50. It is 5:50 and we are live. Grand Rising. Today we are centering birth parent voices. Do you have a child in the system? Do you have children in the system, multiple? And what's your experience like? What have you been going through? This is a portion of the live that we focus on heart, share, tap, heart, share, tap, heart, share, tap. That's where you give your daily heart me, share this out, and tap the screen. So I'm getting my shares out. Welcome in, Grand Rising. So today there are 4 ways to get on the panel to have this panel discussion. And they all start with the daily heart me. Grab your daily heart me, or give your daily heart me. First step. When daily heart me start rolling in, then I'll give the rest of the steps. Because as of now, we got no daily heart me's yet. Alright, cool. Welcome in, Pain to Purpose. How is your morning going? What are you up to today? For me, just getting started. Okay. Thank you for sharing this out. I gotta recharge. I've been so busy with my federal case. Wow. Yeah. Thank you. I hope you do the same. Yeah, recharge is a lot. It's a federal case is a lot, is what I'm saying. I can be warmer. I didn't know what they were talking about there. All right, so we're going to see how the first 30 minutes go. Yep. Centering birth parent voices. I think as far as, hey Joe, how's it going? Thank you for giving your daily heart me. I appreciate that big time. I do like to have a panel discussion. There are today 4 ways to get on the panel. They all start with that daily heart me. Daily heart me and be a super fan. That's number 1. Thank you so much for the populars. It does make an impact. Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you. Number 2 is daily heart me and participate in the gift gallery or the live goal. Number 3, get your daily heart me. Tap the screen 1K times or more. Plus, share this out 60 times or 1 power share. Number 4, get your daily heart me and be a birth parent with a child in the system. So those are the ways to get on the panel today. The first 3 are the same as every day. Number 4 is just for today. So yeah, life in Europe, welcome in. So yeah, I'm hoping to speak to some birth parents that have children in the system because they have a experience that is rarely talked about. Welcome in, No. Interesting screen name. No. Just no. Alright. So that is the goal of today, is to get the birth parent perspective. I know the few times that I have heard from birth parents, they speak of coercion, sabotage, no support, bullying. Yeah, these are the words that are often used by birth parents. Thank you for the power share. Thank you so much, Joe. And for tapping the screen. You must have a tapper. Let's see. I was shocked. You were shocked when you heard from birth parents? Yeah. No CPS records. You were shocked by CPS records. Yeah, CPS records are often very negatively skewed because they usually only record the person's worst day or just the negative aspects of what's going on in their life. They rarely record the wins. Like, I thought it was a mistake. They knew the truth the entire time. Whoa. Yeah, no shocker there. No tapper here, just fast fingers. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. Maybe you used to play guitar. Or still do. Are you a piano player? How do I power share? Oh, let me show you a power share. Hold on, since I'm not live on the other device as well. All right, so let's show you that. Hold on 1 second. I'm getting it ready, and then you'll see. Y'all know, but I touch type 100 words per minute. Nice. That is pretty cool. All right, we're getting there. We're getting there. Thank you so much for bearing with me. I know every second. Okay, so this is my backup, right? Now, to do a power share, you hold down the screen until a white box pops up and there's a list of names and the word send on the side. You just push send going all the way down. That should get you 60 shares. That's considered one power share. You got it, you got it. I'm going to join you in that. And when people are doing the power share, it sends a signal to TikTok that says, oh wow, this live is worth supporting. We will send it out on the For You feed so more people can see it, because it must be a good place. Because sharing is caring and word of mouth is powerful. So people don't realize, like, in the first few minutes of any live, if there's no shares, no tapping, nothing happening, TikTok will think like, this is not a good space. Let's suppress it. No one wants to see this. This is kind of embarrassing. So yeah. So always when you come in a space that you like, Daily Heart Me, share it out, tap the screen. And for every, 10,000 taps, you get back on the For You feed. And for me, the goal is always to reach as many people as possible, to inspire those with lived experience to tell their story, to educate people that don't know anything about the system or know very little about the system, and hopefully to prevent future harm. Oh, thank you so much. I love that. Thank you. Thank you for getting the title gifter. I appreciate that. All those things help. It tells TikTok this is a good space. You should promote it. Don't suppress it. My life has been suppressed for a little bit. Just because it's been slow starting, I think. I think that's why. It can become discouraging. Like, wait, what am I doing here? Like, yeah. If nobody cares, why am I here? But that's my issue with the whole nobody cares. Don't get me started. But anyway, oh, thank you for the level up cake. Yum, yum. Level 8. Awesome. Yeah, there are 50 levels to this. Like, yeah. I think I'm considered a level 29 on this app. A level 29 gifter. I know you spend lots of time sharing. Yeah, I do. You know, I'm here usually twice a day trying to reach people. But I'm like, if I'm here for twice a day, 2 hours at a time, but not reaching anybody, it starts to feel like a waste of time. So that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at, struggling to continue because I'm like, what am I doing here? What am I doing here? I've met some amazing fosters on your page. Awesome. Yeah. I'm glad people are connecting because that's a part of it too, is to build and grow a, strong, connected wildflower team that actually want to do something to improve the system. All right, Joe says stats, please. Let's see. Okay, Joe has 3 comments, 60 power shares, and 792 likes. So that's what we call a quality engager in the making. Bravo, you're almost there. Oh, Pain to Purpose, what are my stats? Thank you for asking. I love that. Your stats are comments 12, shares 55, and likes 582. Very close. Very close. Excellent. Back to tapping. Yes. So yeah, I require the small stuff, small stuff to get on the panel. I've been in live host spaces where it's like you have to gift a 1K gift to be on the panel, which is like a galaxy, I think, or more. It's like each time you got to do it again. You got to do it again. And some people will be like, to be pinned. You can pin comments to highlight certain people. I rarely pin comments, but I think if someone makes a comment that I'm just like super, super impressed by, I might pin it. I think it's happened a couple of times. But yeah. But maybe I'll start pinning people more. Maybe I'll use that feature more. Maybe. What goal do we meet for stat? I can't remember. Oh, okay. 1K taps and 60 shares. 60 shares is a power share. So yeah, you are close to it anyway, Pain to Purpose, because you have 56 shares, close to 60, 970 taps, close to 1K. So that's why I said you are very close to being on the panel. And it looks like Joe thinks she's made it. So let's double check Joe's. Yes, Joe has made it. Joe has 4 comments, 60 shares, 1K taps. Bravo. Now, once you're on the panel rules are 1 person speaking at a time. Everybody gets 10 minutes. I do ask for a brief intro. Name, age, pronouns. How are you connected to this community? Are you a foster parent, adoptive parent, a bio parent with children in the system, a former foster youth, and adoptee? someone that wants to learn about the topic or has interest, a worker of some sort, a social worker, a caseworker, a CASA worker, an attorney, a family court judge, anything like that, and then your thoughts and your feelings on the topic. Do you know birth parents with children in the system? What do you know about the birth parent experience? Yeah. Why is it important that we center their voices? All right, so we got Joe first. Joe's accepted. And real quick, let me check pain to purpose. Almost 47 shares and 710 likes. Getting warmer, getting warmer. All right, Joe, you have the mic. Let's hear your intro first.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Joanna, or you can call me Joe, just not Joanne. I am a kinship adoptee. Or, sorry, I'm 64, and my pronouns are she, her. I am a kinship adoptee, married to a wet from the womb. Mama got sent away to the naughty girl school adoptee. So, two adoptees in our family. And as far as my work within the community, I am a genetic genealogist who volunteers her time with anyone with disrupted parentage. So that could be a child removed through the system that's been disconnected with their family. It could be an adoptee. It could be a birth parent searching. Anybody that's within the constellation of what I call disrupted natural parentage. So that's what I do. Centering birth parent voices, I strongly support this because I have seen the healing that happens for adoptees when we can hear from birth parents. Because many times, sadly, especially for older adoptees, I can't find them anything more than a gravestone. It's heartbreaking, but
Yeah.
that's sometimes what happens, especially in adoptees. I would say 40 plus, 45 plus, it's the percentage of finding that a headstone is sadly high.
Yeah.
But being able to listen to other birth parents, understand that it is mostly due to a lack of resources, it is mostly due to being young and unsupported, being coerced by your family, your church, and your society. We do not give our children away. They are not gifts to be given or returned.
Right.
I advocate strongly, out of respect, that we refer to the loss of your child as a relinquishment,
Right.
because that is truly and legally what you are doing. That does not judge. That does not say you wanted to do this or that you did make the choice to do this, because you also have the right to do that if that is what you truly believe is best for this child you're carrying, that it be raised by someone else. But that is relinquishment. I don't like the you gave your baby away, your baby was taken from you, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I like the term, out of respect to our birth parents, that it was a relinquishment. And then you can tell your story as that birth parent of what relinquishment actually looks like in your case.
Mm-hmm.
But I think listening to birth parents and hearing their pain, and I say unfortunately we don't hear a lot from birth fathers, so birth mothers mostly,
Yeah.
has been healing for me as an adoptee because I was never allowed to talk with my own birth mother, even though she lived across the street.
Wow.
I wish we heard more from birth fathers because I can tell you it, and I don't think it's unusual for a genealogist. I would say it's almost 50-50 when I find a birth father to find out he never knew he was a birth father. He never signed any adoption relinquishment paperwork. Many of them were told that the baby didn't survive birth or that a miscarriage had occurred, because adoption agencies will tell a woman in crisis pregnancy, "Oh, don't list him. It'll just cause more trouble."
Right.
Like they're literally, and we know that because we've talked to people who have worked in the industry, and it is an industry that
It's
sells
industry
babies.
standard. Industry standard.
I'm sorry?
I said it's almost an industry standard to like try to minimize anything that's going
Yeah,
to get in the way.
yeah. And that means that what you are asking a person in a crisis pregnancy is two things: to deny that a father exists, which is ridiculous scientifically, and two, to legally make themselves. Well, think of an adoptee who finally gets access to that paperwork, if we ever do. And what you see is father unknown. What impression does that give to you of your bio mom? First impression, you don't even know who got you pregnant.
Yeah.
You have basically been coerced into legally calling yourself promiscuous to the point where you can't even identify who got you pregnant.
Yeah.
And I think that's a terrible first impression
Mm.
for an adoptee who finally fights to get that paperwork,
Mm-hmm.
if we ever do. And the first thing you see is my mother called herself a slut. Let's be honest, that's the word.
Yeah.
And what a terrible first impression. But they made her do that. They encouraged her. But right on paper is she is so promiscuous she can't even identify the father. Yeah, Payne, they do. I'm in a state right now. My husband was born in this state, served in the military, hasn't paid taxes since the first day he ever worked. He's a teacher. He has to live 99 years plus 1 day to see his own records because Michigan is a closed state. And we just tried to get bills through, and they died. Unalived in the Senate. The House in Michigan passed the bill to open our records to make it reasonably priced, not to get caught in bureaucracy. And it went through the House here in Michigan slick, like bipartisan. Everybody supported it. Went to the Senate and sat there for 2.5 years until it went away.
Yeah.
And so they're so dismissive, Marika, they even reused the bill numbers. So now if you look those bill numbers up, they don't even show that they're adoptive bills. There's some other new bill
Right.
about water quality or something. They just reused our numbers. It didn't even
Right.
matter.
Yeah, I see that in California too. I try to look something up and I'm like, wait.
It's like, how dismissive are you? You just, yeah, well, after the Senate, just let it sit for 2.5 years.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things they were studying, here's a slap in the face to adoptees or donor conceived people or anybody who has a sealed record. One of the things was they had to make sure that we're not unsafe. It had to go to the Justice Department to see if we present a real and present danger to our biological families. Isn't that a slap in our
It
face?
is. It is.
Not that they might present that problem. No, that we do. By us finding our way back, we present a real and present danger that the justice system would have to get involved
Mm.
in, i.e., cops would have to be called. Isn't that a nice assumption?
Yeah.
Please show me the crime stats, Justice Department. Well, you
Right.
helped unalive a bill. Show me the crime stats where adoptees, donor conceived foster kids have come back and unalived people.
Yeah, that's just
Because we don't predominantly do that.
that's the stuff of horror
We come
movie.
back hoping someone will just like us enough to speak to us.
Right. And tell
You
us.
know? Yeah, Payne, and it's hard to get emotion to unseal. You almost have to have a life-threatening illness. That's the only way one of my cousins got hers unsealed, was that her and her daughter showed a genetic illness. And they
Mm.
finally forced the court to open the records to find out what side it came from. Because she was adopted at birth, so she didn't know either side.
Mm.
And she had to go through the Canadian court system, spend a lot of money, because
A
that's not
lot of
free,
money.
to get her records opened. But even then, the reason they opened it was because her daughter, a minor child, now showed the disorder. If it was just her, they'd have gone pound sand to her growing up. But only because of a minor child's health concern was her mother allowed to see her own records.
Wow.
I mean, that's disgusting. So we have to wait till this genetic condition that she suspected she had all along. You have to wait till I have a baby and now my baby has it. How disgusting is that?
Extremely.
Because she might have made different choices about having a child, or she might have just said there's such a high predominance, we'll have genetic testing done, things like that. But she was forced into a position of let's roll the dice.
Mm.
And unfortunately for her daughter, the genetic dice roll, the kid got it.
Yeah.
And it isn't a life ending, but it is very much life limiting. And yes, it is
Mm.
genetic, and she was able to determine in this case it was not her mother's side, it was the paternal side. But she had to get both sides open to figure
to know.
throat,
Yeah.
who's got it where.
And how
But
they
what a
make
terrible thing to have to
choices.
go through.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I know in my husband's case, with his issue with his genetic condition that came through his maternal line, and again, this is birth parent voices. His birth mother tried for years to get a message through to him somehow that he could carry this terribly serious heart condition, and unfortunately, she passed away, never being allowed legally to let him know.
Wow.
So her voice was silenced when all she
Forever.
wanted to do was tell an adult. He was an adult by then. She wanted just to tell an adult, look, this has happened since I signed those papers. I had no way to let you or your new parents know. And unfortunately, she passed at 43 from another genetic condition in her family.
Wow.
So
Well,
yeah, he got
family.
a real genetic mix. So yeah, birth parents' voices are super important for a lot of reasons for us adoptees. And thank you. That's my time.
Thank you. I appreciate you. All right. Request back up if you need additional time.
Will do.
All right. All right. So our next person is Pain to Purpose. I looked at your stats and this thing is being completely strange. I agree with you. I thought you had more last time, but maybe it's right now because it's weird. First it said 59, then it said 57. Now it's saying 67 shares, 2.1k taps. Bravo. Let's hear from Pain to Purpose. And let me see. I thought that there was another request. Who's this other? Okay, I don't know who that is.
Good morning.
Good morning. Let's get your intro and then your
I
thoughts and
am
feelings.
a birth parent. I have a previously adopted child home, also biological mother, and then I also have 4 children that are adopted out.
So let's get your name, age, and
I
pronoun.
am Adira. I am 44, and she, her.
All right.
I think I'm working on a law now to try and push through my Senate about possibly where kids will be able to have access to their records. I've helped so many to try and be able to get a hold of their records. And it's crazy. Imagine, the trauma adoptees already go through, wondering. That's just human nature. You're going to wonder. And like in my situation, kids reached out and then immediately I was slapped with a protective order. Like that's, you know what I'm saying? They're 13, 14, and 17. And I'm still in the process of going through court for that. But why would you not respect their voices? And then I started digging more, and I want to push something through so that the adoptive parents can get like the whole CPS file. Because like mine, they've been told horror stories about me, and the entire truth was in my record the entire time. Like they tried to say my baby was going through it in the hospital because of street use. It was my prescription. Like I'd been on
Wow.
pain medication since I was 13 years old. I got sick when I got pregnant from it, and they switched me to Subutex. I know that comes with a stigma, but why would they not like throw the negative drug screens in there, the negative toxicology, any of that? So I think it would be a lot better if they would share the entire record. It's like it's all just, made to be covered. I would have signed away on mine to be released. I had nothing in there, bad that I'd done to hide. And I just finally found out the other day that they put me on a registry, and I had no idea for 10 years. And they tried to say they sent me paperwork. They didn't. That's what my federal lawsuit is mainly about, being listed and with no notification. And so I can only imagine what these people probably thought about me or what they were told if.
That's right.
And then the same lady that, I dealt with during my warrantless seizure, she was the one who signed off on the case. So it's like they investigate themselves, which is odd. But I do believe that the record should be released to the adoptive parents, foster parents, so they can make the decision of, hey, is this person healthy for this child to be around? Because there's so many traumas that come from separation, even in a newborn, if you can prevent trauma by doing that, I think that would be amazing. And obviously most adoptive parents are up for trying to keep bio around if they can, but I think if they read the files themselves, things would be a lot better.
That part I disagree. Most adoptive parents that I know want bio parents gone and want to pretend they never existed, and they want to live in a fantasy that they deliver the child.
Well, yeah, in my situation, I have met quite a few that were, absolutely
That's
amazing and
that's
supportive.
nice.
But
That's amazing. I'm glad to hear it.
but yes, like in mine, they really robbed the other children of their relationship and things like that, and they were old enough and still are old enough to make a choice, and it was because they were living this fantasy with my 10-year-old that they are the parents. So
Right.
anything that crashes the narrative, um, that's insane. And here they have, kids trying to testify against me in court, which I've asked for, hey, go talk to them in the chambers. They're old enough to tell you. Do you need to see my messages? Like, it's in the I can't, just the judges, like the affidavit started off with the children reached out to their mother about their siblings. Like, come on now.
Yeah.
So I do believe that they should let, kids make a choice at a certain age, especially in adoptee situations, even if it's private. Like, I have offered to drop my 6-year-old off and her brother at the time, wherever at Food Lion, meet the adoptive parent there, drop my kid out, just let them go see their
That's
siblings.
amazing. Yeah, that's
And she wouldn't do it. And then I had the guardian ad litem. He actually supported the protective orders and not speaking up for the children, which
oh
how can you do that when they're telling you, hey, I want to talk to them, I want to talk to my siblings? And he told me that my siblings or their siblings are legal strangers now, so that's part of my federal case too. Like,
yeah.
'cause the siblings have rights, the kids do. Like, even if my rights are terminated, my kids still have civil rights and rights to their siblings. And I filed for visitation as custodian of the kids that I have in my care, not for me, not just, let the court
Yeah.
decide.
Yeah.
And
That's
it's,
great. That
and
is
they,
admirable.
my daughter, she's sick. She often asks, is somebody coming to take her, and why she can't
Oh,
see her siblings. Like, she latches on to every child we see, and like, she worries the hell out of a 16-year-old here. She follows him around all the time, and it's just so sad. Like, that she could have that bond, and she's being robbed of it.
mm-hmm.
Even after I've been proven, time and time again to be fit and okay, but it's just sad.
Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely what happened to my mom. Soon as my adopted parents wanted to adopt, no matter what she did, there was nothing she could do to show, you know, I have my own place, I have employment, I'm gone to a parenting class or two, I've done some anger management. None of it was gonna be good enough. She said the
Yeah.
social worker told her, "You will never get your kids back." Like,
I don't want
wow.
people to give up hope either, because that's sad, and that's what they try and do, is tell you the end. And that's how I figured out it wasn't. Like, I'm in the middle of vacating Sam's adoption now as we speak, and I still am just baffled. Like, social services was telling me that the foster and adoptive, parents were still collecting his social security check from his dead father, which he never got a dime of. They were getting the adoption funds,
And
and Medicaid, food stamps, I guess all of it. And I didn't know, like, that my friends, she was taking care of the grandchildren, but they made her do like become a foster parent to have her own grandkids. They were paying her $1,800 a month to take care of them, and when she adopted them, it went to $3,600 a month for 2 kids.
wow.
Yeah, I didn't know it was that much. I had no idea of the money figures until speaking to people. But yeah, oh, I
Hmm.
see. After not after legal adoption occurs, right? But yes, they consider my other children legal strangers, but not the children in my care. They still have civil rights, and that's what I was moving off of, my 6-year-old and 16-year-old, because they still have rights and can speak up as far as wanting to see their siblings. And from what I've looked at it on the law side, it said that they do still have rights to their siblings, but I'm not sure. I don't know that much, into that. But yeah, it's sad. It's sad all the way around.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think the more we hear from birth parents speaking out about their experience, only then will we be able to get some change. I think everybody that's system involved needs to be speaking out.
Yes, and they try and scare a lot of people. Like it took 10 years for me to speak out because like when I went through my removal, they took 4 and left 1. Like that just made no sense to me.
Oh, thank you, Mother of Nation.
That just
Yeah,
made no sense to me. Like he was traumatized and then the other kids were told, "Well, that's the one she wanted to keep." Like that's crazy. Like,
right.
like
That
I could
is.
pick a kid. But
Yeah.
yeah, so I'm getting answers today and then holding them accountable and then hopefully my children I'll be able to, go in on their behalf as soon as each of them turn 18 if something's not done sooner.
Nice. I wish you all the luck because yeah, people just think that birth parents are, I don't know, just careless. That's the word that comes to mind. That
Yes.
that they just are careless. Like moving on, like, oh well that happened and you know.
Yes. And then when I got Sam back, they were actually trying to have him sent off to a group home. And I was like, oh, no, 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 no. And yeah, that's how I ended up getting his. And then he was removed for the same stigma, supposedly because of my medicine. Like they put in there that I was in treatment for addiction to Lortab and Xanax. And that's the only medicine I'd ever been prescribed in my life. Like it was my prescriptions. And I
Wow.
was like, you're like, it's just nuts. So now I'm pulling my medical records where my foot was crushed when I was 13. Like, I didn't want to take the medicine all the time. I would only take it when I needed it. And they even
Yes.
put my other medicine in there that I took it randomly and then sometimes all the time. Like, I was scared when I was pregnant and on pain medication. I was like, hey, what can I take that will cause less issues, less problems? And they was like, Subutex is safer. Your baby might withdraw, but we can handle that as long as you breastfeed. But yet I was put out of the hospital when he was 2 days old, like walking because of my
Oh,
medication.
wow.
I'm going to release all my records as soon as my federal case is over, just so people can share them and see them
Right.
and see the narrative and let it be a path, for learning, hopefully.
I hope
Thank
so
you for
too.
having me.
Thank you for being here. And yes, yeah, like you say, pain to purpose. Use your story to help someone else.
I absolutely will. Thank you. Thank you.
No problem. All right, I will drop you from the panel and see who's the next one. Hey, I thought I saw Exie, Mother of Nations. Hi. Yeah, I've been kind of going through it a little bit, but I'm still here. Miss Flora Lady, welcome in. All right, so yeah, this is a space centering birth parent voices because as far as the adoption constellation, if you will, birth parent voices are heard the least. The least. And there's a ton of assumptions and just false narratives around birth parents that birth parents don't care. Birth parents, I mean, I think that's the main one, honestly. And all the little subtext that come out underneath that. I know for me, I was told my birth mother, nothing about birth father. Nobody knew who he was. Birth mother was a party girl. She was, self-absorbed and only cared about herself. And, she went on with her life and I should do the same. She's living her best life. I should focus on that for myself. And it wasn't true. I went into self-destruction after adoption. Right. Right. That's what we're not told about, that birth mothers grieve that it's life changing. Just like it's life changing for us, it's life changing for them. I don't think my mother has ever 100% recovered. I know I haven't. And I'm 51 years old, she's 76 years old, and still we are still healing and dealing with the trauma of being separated. Lifelong. It's not, oh, they'll get over it in a year or so. They'll forget all about it. I'm so glad you found her when you did. Oh, when did you reunite? Basically, okay, so I was a foster child. Reunification was the goal at first. So in the beginning, I had weekend visits, which I lived for, looked forward to, couldn't wait till the weekend because I knew I was going to be with my mom and my older brother and older sister. They were in a separate foster home. So we looked forward to that weekend visits. weekend visits got switched to supervised visits. And they got switched to supervised visits because my foster mother at the time kept calling the social worker with complaints. She's bringing her back late. Clothing is missing. She changed her hair. But to me, that shouldn't have been complaints that were taken seriously, because that's just regular parenting type stuff. It's just like, of course you want to dress your kid in the outfit you got them. Of course you want to do the hairstyle that you want to do on your kid because you have them for the weekend. Yeah, I mean, she was every weekend she was blowing them up with complaint after complaint. Did she often bring me back late? Yes, I have issues with time. And I believe I know where I get them from. But that the goal was reunification, and as soon as they decided they wanted to adopt, the sabotage started. Nothing she did. She came to court date after court date, jumped through all the hoops. None of it was good enough. Now, me being a little kid, I didn't know that was happening. I didn't know. All I knew was I didn't see her anymore. And after a while, being told over and over, she's a whore living her life, you should do the same, you start to believe that. You start to absorb that. You start to believe it. So my adoption wasn't finalized until I was 12. And that's when all visitation stopped, because it was supposed to be a closed adoption. No further contact. No longer legally related to these people. I was told stop bringing my kids gifts and everything. I believe it, because they're like, oh, you're just trying to pay for their attention or love or whatever. It's like, no, I want to give my kid something. Like, just normal parent-child interaction being like stifled. So no contact basically from 12, well before 12 really. Maybe 10 to 16. So we reunited when I was 16. That was a long way to answer that, wasn't it? We reunited when I was 16, and we've been in reunion since, on and off, because the first thing I said to her, I believe, was, where the hell were you? What happened? Like, why did you just disappear? Why didn't you care? I was angry. Thank you. I was angry, and she was like angry too. Like, what do you mean? I didn't just disappear. I did everything those people said. I did everything. I wanted all my kids, and they stole you from me. They stole my kids. And we had these yelling matches back and forth. Yeah, we had these yelling matches back and forth where I was just like, what the, pardon my French, what the fuck? You know, like, I was waiting for you to come get me. I was waiting to go home. This is me at 16. And when I saw the tears and the righteous anger that nothing she did was good enough, they had already decided. You know, she knew, hindsight being 2020, that her going through to court and doing all the things was a waste of time. They had already decided that these adoptive parents, well, these foster parents at the time, looked better on paper than she did as a single mom of 3. It was already decided. Let me see. All right, Ramble Bay. Let me check. Oh, Pain to Purpose. Hold on one second. Let me check Ramble Bay's stats. So there's a couple of ways to get on the panel. Ramble Bay, you have 0 comments, 0 shares, 264 likes. I'm looking for 60 shares, which is 1 power share, 1K likes, and to a daily heart me. So the first step is to give your daily heart me. All right, any questions about that, let me know. Okay, Pain to Purpose is requesting backup. I will give you an additional 5. Oh, no, you're not. I'm sorry. I thought you were. Joanna's requesting backup for an additional 5. No problem. All right. Joe, you got the mic.
Well, I had something I wanted to talk about, and you actually mentioned it, so I think it's a great kind of follow up.
Okay.
I believe the patriarchy, this idea of the Madonna whore complex, which, if
Mm.
anybody isn't familiar with it, basically women are only classified through the patriarchy as either Madonna, perfect, non-sexual,
Hmm.
untouchable beauty, the whole uh, immaculate conception thing. Or we are whores that we're just crack whores and uh, sluts and all of that. We can't be anything in between.
Hmm.
That patriarchy is what goes into what I've seen with birth parents. They are either these wondrous, we'll just say women, because poor men are often kept out of this system, but they are these wondrous women who are gifting, helping another family create a family.
Hmm.
Blah, 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 blah. Gosh, they're just gorgeous.
Hmm.
Or, which is completely unrealistic when we meet them because they aren't perfect women, or they're whores that don't know who the father of the baby is.
Right. Just.
They're just they want rid of their kids so they can go out and slut around and get another one and get some more welfare money. Or we're all found in flaming dumpsters, which I've heard that so many times as an adoptee. I'm always amazed when I take my garbage out that there's room in my dumpster
Right. You
with
start looking.
flaming babies.
You
It's
start
like,
looking
how is
for
there room for garbage? We have a problem here. Um,
them.
well, we live in a society where we put babies into a box in the wall like an ATM machine.
Yeah, that's wild.
Do not get me started on baby boxes. People think they're wonderful.
I
Yeah, well,
don't
there's a lot of
either.
people who, there was the guy in Ohio that kept women locked in his basement. If he had a way to get rid of those babies, he'd have walked down the street and shoved them through a box at a fire hall.
Yeah.
Because he got one girl twice, two babies she delivered
Yeah.
under his victimization of her.
Yeah.
He would have loved that box in a wall
Yeah, I'm
that
sure.
could get rid of those children. Um, so just don't. Everybody thinks these baby boxes are a great
I
idea.
don't.
They're
I
yeah.
don't.
For a
Mm-mm.
trafficker, they're a great idea. They're a great idea if you're a trafficker.
Yeah.
Great way to get rid of the evidence of your assault on a female.
Hmm.
But anyway, it's the Madonna whore thing. We have got to stop doing this to all women, but especially when we're talking about birth parents.
Yeah.
Because what happens as an adoptee, because I do help so many adoptees find their birth moms, is then we find a real woman. She's not a Madonna, she's not a whore.
Right.
But we have been so trained by our families and society to only place her that no wonder the reunions can fail. Because no, she's just a woman who went through something horrific. For whatever reason it happened, but she's neither Madonna nor whore. And we
Yes.
that's part of the patriarchy. Fight that, please. And that's all I needed to say. And when
Thank
you
you.
said they treated your mother like that, I thought, like,
It's
I
so
was already going to
common.
talk about this, and then
So
you said
common.
it, and I'm like, that is such an example. Your mother could not have done anything because they already classed her as the whore.
Hmm.
She
Hmm.
couldn't have done anything.
Yeah.
She couldn't even have a normal relationship with a nice man because
Right.
she'd just
Which
be
she
trying to
tried.
get something out of them, just doing hoary things.
Yeah. Which
I
she
mean, they
tried
literally
several
told
times.
you, go on with your life. She's just out there having fun with men.
Yep.
That's not much of an impression to give a young woman, young girl. No
Mm.
wonder you grew angry with your mother. They told you she chose men over you. That's
Yeah.
what that message says. My mother would rather get laid than be a mother.
That's right.
That's the Madonna horror complex at its greatest example, and I'm sorry that happened
Thank
to your
you.
mom and you.
Thank you.
And I'm
Thank you.
ending on that.
All right. I appreciate you big time, Joe. Yeah, that's exactly the way it went down. And they were so good at it. Now, keep in mind, my sister's 3 years older than me. My brother's 5 years older than me. My brother, so I'm 51, so I guess that makes him, what, 56 at this point? He has absorbed that messaging so deeply that he cannot even have a connection with our mother at all. Like, he still has rage about that and still has said to her face, no, you were just a floozy. Oh, thank you. Yeah, 51. He still uses that language the last time he spoke to her. Like, you were a floozy. And I'm just kind of like, no, she was someone who wanted to be loved, who wanted to be in love, who wanted to be married, who wanted to have a family because of her past trauma. You know, hooking up with the wrong people, so-called friends, you know, and things happen. Also, what does that teach a young woman about her right to an active, healthy right? You're not supposed to have one at all. At all. Trauma bonds, yeah. Hey, DA, welcome in. So, yeah, it's that messaging is put out there so strong that it can last the rest of their lives. Like, still, it's like the scarlet letter all over, you know? Like, I know for a fact that my birth mother never wanted people to know how many children she had. Would never say, I have 7 children with pride. You know, it's like, the 2 that are with me right now, those are the only ones you know, we're going to just roll with that. Yeah. And I met people who never even knew about me. Like, oh, you're her daughter too? Oh. Like, yeah, there's 7 of us. What? People had no idea. Yeah. And to me, that is proof of someone who has had their children snatched and attempted to rebuild their life and meet someone and be in love and have a family. Hopefully I'll get to keep this one. I've heard some birth mothers say. Hopefully I'll get to keep this one. You know? Some of us are hidden and lost. Some of us are hidden and lost to me because of sealed records. Right. Siblings lost to me. Right. So it's Mother of Nations said that's the truth. Yeah. So I actually, in my adoptive family, talked to a cousin, and turns out he's adopted, and I didn't even know that. Maybe I will get to keep this one, right? But I didn't know that, and he has the mindset that his birth mother had 9 children because she was a whore. And I'm just like, he's like, nah, she ain't fell in love that many times. I was like, why would you assume that? Like, and he just recently met her, and she's like 93. Yeah, she's like 93 years old, but you know, I think I may be the first person that challenged that belief that, oh, she was just out there getting it in with any and everybody. Like, no, maybe she actually believed the lies of men that said, oh, I love you, I want to be with you forever, and let's make a family, and did that, and then the guy bounced. Like, what does she say about it? But he said that she doesn't talk a whole lot about it because, you know, she's 94, I believe he said, in a nursing facility. So he's attempting to have a connection with her anyway, which I think is good. Painted Purpose said to Mother of Nations, she could never replace any of my other babies. Oh, right. That used to be my issue because I have a sister who is 10 years and 1 day younger than me. So my birthday is March 26th. Her birthday is March 25th. And finding that out just made me feel like you were trying to replace me. Oh, okay. It just really made me feel like there was an attempt to replace. And she's like, that was never the case. Okay. Oh, pain to purpose. No, no, no. Oh, we have two. Okay. Jonathan Brits. Let me check your stats. Yeah, you have 0 shares, 0 likes, 0 comments, zero. No, 1 like. 1 like. So you have a long ways to go to be on the panel. And Joe, I'll give you an additional 5. I realized last time I didn't even start the timer. I, I'm telling you, me and Father Time just. Or did I? I don't
Yeah, I got,
remember.
and I got a lot to say on this topic. I did
All
want to
right.
follow up on the previous comments about the Madonna horror complex and how it can affect our reunifications with specifically our birth mothers. I will use my example just because it's my lived experience. Even as a kinship adoptee, I was kept separate from my birth mother, who was my grandparents' oldest daughter. She was very promiscuous. There are at least 6 of us from 5 different fathers. That that is a judgment I placed upon her. I will honestly admit that I used to refer to my birth mother as being less of a parent than a cat under a porch with kittens, a stray
Oh,
cat.
wow.
Then I found out only 6 months ago, and I am 64 years old. She has been long in her resting spot in that cemetery, and I recently found out that she had been severely interfered with by a family friend when she was very, very little. I'm talking 5, 6 years
Yep.
old. She was never able to disclose that. She lived with that pain her whole life. I will tell you that I have apologized. If there is life after passing, I hope, because I have gone to her in spirit and said, I am so, so sorry. I
Hmm.
am sorry that I judged you so harshly
Yeah.
when you and your understanding of what Smex is was so destroyed at an incredibly young age.
Right.
So why I'm sharing that is to encourage mercy and grace to our birth mothers.
Hmm.
They may have a backstory that they can never tell you, or they will tell you. And a lot of our young birth mothers, the ones that are 14, 15, 16, having babies, or if you really check, a lot of them were interfered with. They were sexualized at incredibly young ages.
Yeah.
So, as much as adoptees coming back, and we want grace, kindness, and love, remember we need to, even through our own pain, we need to extend grace, kindness, and love to a birth parent who may have a backstory that you'll never know because that birth parent cannot touch that.
Hmm.
My
Hmm.
birth mother could never touch that. She only disclosed at the end of her life to one family member, and they were told to keep it secret. They
Wow.
thankfully did share it with me, but I had to press hard to say,
Hmm.
why was she like this? No one else in the family was like this. Why her? And then she finally told me. So, kindness and grace needs to go both ways.
Hmm.
I will say, as a genealogist, it is better if you involve someone like me who, or a third party to help mediate those first meetings, um, and help give the support to understand you are both in crisis. You both need kindness, grace, and time. You
Hmm.
you may be biologically closely related, but you have been socialized as complete and utter strangers and legally separated. When we talked about legal separation, remember, and I'm saying as a genealogist as well as having a child who's the child of 2 adoptees, that legal separation goes down through every descendancy you will ever have. Once that is done to you, it is done to every descendant you will ever have. My son, with never having been in a system, kept child, wanted child, no government thing, but because of his parents, he is legally unrelated to his aunts, uncles, grandparents, first
Yeah.
cousins, all of that. And his children will be just as legally unrelated. They may exist on a family tree, but not in a legal sense.
Right.
Which people say, why does that matter?
It
It
does.
matters because you can't be next of kin. We live literally an hour and a half from my husband's half brother. He's the only one in the family that still has minor children. If something, knock wood, happened to him or his wife, we are the closest family to come and get those kids, and we are not related to them. We would not be considered. They would be taken into the system until someone legally related to him, even though they've been in reunion for years.
Yeah.
But unless he puts it in a will, and that will is found immediately, which is even a living will is not always found, those kids could end up disappeared into a system when they have an aunt and uncle and a first cousin that would happily bring them home with us
And
until whatever got sorted out.
even if it's found, it could be contested by the legal relatives. Am I right?
Yep, because we're not legally related.
Right.
But they are, when we talked to them about it, they were shocked that we couldn't go into court and have it. They're like, well, mom's gone, but we're her, like one was her sister, one is her sons and daughter. We're like, we couldn't go into court with you and say we're her,
Anything.
we inherited her estate, we represent her estate, we want the records open. Nope,
Yeah.
nope, no judge is even going to give us time, not in the state of Michigan.
Wow.
So anyway, that's what I came up to talk about was
Thank you.
the Madonna horror complex can very much affect our interactions with our birth mothers.
Mm-hmm.
So remember that and give kindness, grace, and space for each other. It takes, even when we have a baby, it takes time to get to know our baby. I've birthed children 4 times. You don't know your baby immediately at birth. You get to understand the human you birthed. You know them as a part of your body, but
Yeah,
you get
it's
to meet
different.
your new human.
Yeah.
And they're all different, and you get to learn how to be a mom. That takes time. Don't expect someone who's been ripped from you to know how to be a mother, a daughter, or a son immediately. That's grace, time, and space. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Joe. I appreciate you. All right. Cool. So let me see. There were some comments that I missed. Let me see. Mother of Nation. Oh yeah, maybe I get to. That's the truth. Maybe I get to keep this one. Yeah. Yes, they tried to take my daughter too. She was 6 months. Now home with me. Awesome. My daughter went through that, and once we fought for Messiah, she has settled down at home. Awesome. Okay, never could replace. Yes. And she has lots of drama from that. She desires a husband and a home and family. Right. The American dream, right? They told me for 3 babies that I did not qualify as a safety net and took 3 of them. Wow. And that happened to my grandmother too. I was in a kinship placement with my grandmother for some months, and then she was told, her apartment needed to be 2 bedrooms. There needed to be a licensed daycare and not just the lady down the hall. There were other things. They were just like, no. All right, I think I'm caught up on the comments. But yeah, centering birth parent voices is so important because otherwise, just like in my case, you're just left to believe the lies. You're just left to believe the lies that, these women are just popping them out and keeping it moving. Hey, party time. Oh, pregnant again. Okay. Yeah, it's not true. There's real trauma and grief on both sides for the birth mother and the child and the birth father if he knows about it. Often if he knows about it. And I'll never know to this day if my birth father even knew about me. And yeah. But according to his family that I finally have met, his sister and my sister on that side, that if he would have known about me, I would have grown up with them. Like they would have fought to keep me out of the system and taking me in. But they believe he didn't know. But I don't know. Because he has passed away. So yeah, this has been a pretty good live, I must say. Centering Birth Parent Voices. We're going to continue this conversation today at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And, yeah. If you know any birth parents, let them know to come to this space. I'd love to hear from them. Now, there are orgs that, for birth parents, I believe. Actually, when I started looking, I found orgs that focus on providing some sort of counseling services after relinquishment. But I'm looking for those orgs that focus on helping birth parents reunite, and that's kind of what I'm interested in. I mean, that there is a need for that type of counseling, but there's an even greater need to help birth parents navigate the legal system and moving forward with getting their children back, like resuming custody. All right, let me give, hey baby Sassy, welcome in. Let me give the stats of the room. We're at 9K taps. It'd be awesome if we can get to 10. We have 249 shares. 3 people in the room. Our league is a D1 in the top 80%. We have been live for 1 hour and 6 minutes. We've had 80 viewers, 0 new followers, 5 gifters. This live has made $3.04. Mother of Nations said, we have closed adoptions. We can never get them back. Yeah, that's right. When it's a closed adoption, once that adoption is finalized, it is kind of end of story. And that needs to change. Just wait till they are big. Yeah. And what people I have a hard time with the, when you're 18. When you're 18, then you can look for your bio family. When you're 18, your kids will come looking for you. Wait until they're 18. Hey, Kels, welcome in. By the time that you are 18, it's so much harder. Like I said, I was 16 and I came in like, what the hell, what happened? I was ready for war. And like I said, it's been like no contact, having contact, no contact, having contact. It's so much harder because now you're 2 stranger adults attempting to connect. And me and my sister, it's just done. I feel like at this point it's a wrap. There is no connecting with her. Mother of Nation said, I do not know where they are, and I did get to choose the parents, so I got some advantages. Okay. Anybody having a problem exchanging? Oh, I don't know. I haven't tried, but there was one person that came into this live that said that she was able to recharge, but I don't think that's exactly the same as exchanging. So I don't know. Mother of Nation said, I do know. Yeah, how hard it is to try to connect as an adult. Won't let me get coins to get my heart beat. Oh. Okay, yeah, I don't know. The app is being weird. Like I had somebody, I checked to see how many taps they had and how many shares they had. And at first it said, what did it say? 59. Then it said 57. And then it said 47. And I'm like, wait, how are your taps getting taken away? Like what? But then I checked again and it said like 67, which actually felt more accurate for that person. I've been hearing that a lot. Keeps telling me try again later. Wow. And my taps are being delayed, especially in the battle. Wow. Yeah, that's weird. The app do what the app do. I don't even know. A lot of times I'd be like, how can I go on? How can I go on with the repressions for no reason? I have no V's, no R's. What? I should not be suppressed. But anyway. All right, it is 7 a.m. I'll have to shift gears to get to my day job because I still got to pay the bills. And we'll be back 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time to continue centering birth parent voices. And maybe by then the whole recharge, gifter jail. Wow. Tapper jail, now gifter jail. That's ridiculous. But yeah, hopefully, maybe it'll be worked out for the 4 o'clock. If you can come back 4 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, that would be awesome. I would love to continue this conversation. Please do share this information. Invite as many birth parents as you can. Birth parents with children in the system is what we're looking for. Birth parents with children in the system is what we're talking about centering. All right, for now, live your wild and wonderful life because you deserve it. Have a great rest of your day.